So checking out the TA on Algorand today, we're looking very nice, huge influx of volume due to Algorand's new partnership with FIFA. So I'm going to make this a technical analysis video. I'm not going to go into the fundamentals of the news. I do make separate news updates whenever I do see news like this. So this Algorand TA video will be accompanied by a daily news update. So if you do want to check out the news and break down everything that's going on in the FIFA partnerships, check out my channel, because alongside this TA video I will be checking out how the news will react to the price as well. So looking at the charts, starting off on the daily, we've got a huge influx in volume. We have not seen this amount of volume since Algorand's blow off top, when we came all the way up to not your all-time high, but your most recent all-time high, your most recent local high, I could call it, at 280. Depending on what chart you look on, you know, there are some slightly higher highs on Algorand that are not on the Coinbase chart. So, you know, looking at this objectively, let's start off with your momentum indicators, and we'll talk about your EMA ribbons to start with. So looking at the downtrend that we've initiated since $2.80, since the macro downtrend started in November of last year, you can see as soon as we came down below your daily EMA ribbons, that was when the bear trend started. And since then, we've been getting rejected. I could go on and on and on, but we keep on getting rejected and we don't manage to flip them. Now, what am I looking for this bearish trend to end? Well, it's very simple. All I want to see is to hop above the daily EMA ribbons, backtest them, and then leave. That's all I want to see. Previously, you can see you have a breakout, that's number one, you fail the backtest. The backtest is the most important thing. I do not care if Algorand manages to break out of the daily EMA ribbons, because so far it's done it twice since this big downtrend started, and both times you come back to backtest and you fail. I need to see something like this, push up, a backtest, and then to start rising and making higher highs on the daily time frame. Until that happens, obviously Algorand is bearish. I mean, I'm just looking at this objectively. We're in a huge downtrend, and this is not to say that Algorand can't break out of the downtrend, because I do think it will, and I think this news that we've got going on with FIFA will allow it enough momentum to break out. Now, looking at your oscillators, we recently had a very nice double bottom on the money flow indicator, whether you want to call it a W, a double bottom, depending on where you draw it. Either way, we had a very nice flush out on the money flow indicator. We recently came down to 12, and we've only historically been at one level lower, and this was during the huge landslide where Algo lost pretty much all of its valuation. So I don't necessarily think we're going to be going into a phase like that again. Looking at the relative strength index, we came down to 30. Zooming out, you know, we've only been below this level twice. So this region that we're at right now, Algorand definitely seems to want to get out of this region for multiple reasons. The volume is looking good. You're basically extremely oversold at this point, and the news, in my opinion, is going to allow Algorand to pump out of this range. Now, does this mean that you should buy Algorand at this moment in time? Well, in my personal opinion, no. I'm not here to give financial advice. What you do with your money is up to you. However, for me personally, I acknowledge that this is some very bullish news. I acknowledge that this is going to help Algorand grow. This is going to increase the demand. This is going to increase the exposure for Algorand. All bullish signs. However, I'm an objective trader. I look at this on the daily time frame and I notice we're in a huge downtrend. There is no bottoming signal in sight. You know, if we were having this news after, you know, having a inverse head and shoulders play out, it'd be a completely different story, but we're not seeing that. So what I'd personally be waiting for is to hop above these daily EMA ribbons. And also, one last thing before we do wrap up the video, because this is very important. The next Federal Reserve meeting is on the 4th of May. Well, technically it's between the 3rd and the 4th. It is the 3rd today. So we should have the Federal Reserve meeting all wrapped up within the next 24 to 48 hours at most. Now, I believe, in my opinion, I believe confidence has exited the market during this Fed meeting. I've been in crypto for a very long time, and in the last year specifically, since the government, or the US government specifically, has been doing all this quantitative easing, every single Fed meeting, everyone panics, everyone sells a week before the Fed meeting, and we do this, we chop, we go sideways, and we go genuinely in a downwards trajectory. What normally happens then is after the Fed meeting, we do rally. Literally as soon as the Fed meeting's done, as soon as it's all wrapped up, we normally have a big rally outside the Fed meeting. And I believe this momentum, along with the bullish news that Algorand's had in the past day or so, is going to allow Algorand to take out, break above your 4-hourly EMAs and flip them. So I am bullish on Algorand. However, I do plan on sticking on the sidelines for the next 24 to 48 hours, seeing how this Fed meeting works, and then if we pump bullish out of this, we flip your EMA ribbons, so be it. I can DCA at 76 cents on a breakout and know that I'm buying a confirmed breakout. On the flip side, if we do dump after the Fed meeting, let's say they do something outlandish like increase the interest rates by an obnoxious amount, then you could potentially see that roll over and us entering in a short-term bear market. So I do think a lot of volatility is about to enter the crypto markets, and that means Algo's either gearing up for a big explosion to the upside or the downside. My guess is we're about to gear up for a breakout. What do you think? If you do want more of these Algorand content, the best way to let me know is leave a like and a comment down below. I don't always cover Algorand. I think this is actually my first video on Algo. I did used to be a huge bull on it. I held a ton of Algo back in the day. I am still a big bull on Algorand. I really do like the Algorand project. So if you do want to see more of this, leave a like, let me know down in the comments below, and I will provide. That is all I've got for you today. Cowboy out, not financial advice, and as always, peace.